There's a particular kind of politician who campaigns on the slogan of integrity, decency, and a commitment to doing things properly. The kind who looks down the camera, straightens their tie, and tells you, with absolute sincerity, that under their watch, things will be different. No more sleaze, no more cover-ups, no more treating the public like they're too stupid to notice. Keir Starmer built his entire brand on that promise. And right now, that brand is on fire. The name Mandelson is the match, and the flames are getting very difficult to ignore. So here is the full story, because it is genuinely one of the most spectacular political scandals this country has seen in years. Peter Mandelson, twice forced to resign from the cabinet, the man even his own colleagues once described as a prince of darkness, was appointed by Keir Starmer as Britain's ambassador to the United States. In late 2024, Starmer sent him to Washington. And in February 2025, Starmer stood up and told Parliament that Mandelson had received clearance from independent security vetting. Full due process, he said. Everything above board. Nothing to see here. Except there was quite a lot to see here. Because it has now emerged that Mandelson failed his developed vetting, the highest level of security clearance, back in January 2025. The UK security vetting body formally recommended denying him clearance on the 28th of January. And here's where it gets extraordinary. Within 48 hours, the Foreign Office exercised a rare power to overrule that recommendation entirely, and the job went ahead. The vetting process had flagged concerns about his finances, his business connections, his sexual history, and his prior association with a certain convicted sex trafficker by the name of Jeffrey Epstein. All of that was raised. All of that was dismissed. And then Starmer went to Parliament and said full due process had been followed. He said it not once, not twice, 3 times. Now, if you are a fan of the ministerial code, and frankly the bar for that is pretty low, you'll know it is very clear on this point. Ministers who knowingly mislead Parliament are expected to resign. Any inadvertent error should be corrected at the earliest opportunity. Kemi Badenoch was not subtle about this in the Commons last week. She told Starmer directly, if he misled Parliament, he should resign. If he broke the ministerial code, he should resign. If documents were withheld in a cover-up, he should resign. 3 conditions. 3 times she said the word resign. And the Prime Minister sat there insisting the Foreign Office hid it from him, and he only found out in April 2026. 15 months after the vetting failure. 15 months during which Mandelson was sitting in Washington representing this country, having never actually passed the security checks required to do so. And in case you thought the Mandelson saga couldn't get any more dramatic, of course it can. This is Peter Mandelson. The Epstein files released this year showed that Mandelson or his partner received payments from Epstein totaling around £55,000. Emails suggested that during the 2008 financial crisis, Mandelson shared sensitive UK government information with Epstein, including advance notice of a €500 billion EU bank bailout. He was subsequently arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, bailed, and is now subject to a Metropolitan Police investigation. He has resigned from the Labour Party and from the House of Lords. Gordon Brown, who appointed Mandelson to ministerial positions in the first place, expressed regret and handed evidence to the police. This is the man Keir Starmer sent to represent Britain in Washington. The man he insisted had passed full independent vetting. The man he defended publicly while all of this was lurking in the background. Now here is where the story crashes into the local elections, because the timing could not be worse for Labour. On the 7th of May, barely 10 days away, voters across England go to the polls in local council elections. And the mood music from inside Labour itself is genuinely alarming. 3 Labour regional mayors, Sadiq Khan in London, Steve Rotheram in Liverpool, and Richard Parker in the West Midlands, have publicly warned that Starmer's unpopularity is hitting the party hard on the doorstep. Khan said he was, quote, really frustrated that the Mandelson omnishambles was drowning out everything else. Rotheram was blunter still, describing the situation as psychodrama from the heart of government while loyal councillors and activists battle away on the ground. The party has reportedly been told to prepare for existential results on May the 7th. Existential. That is not the word you use when you're expecting a slight dip. That is the word you use when you're expecting the floor to give way. And then there's Jonathan Brash, the Labour MP for Hartlepool, who this week became the first Labour backbencher to publicly call on Starmer to resign over the Mandelson affair. He said he is completely fed up to the back teeth of the psychodrama coming from the heart of government. When your own MPs, people elected on your manifesto, under your leadership, start going on record demanding you leave, you are no longer managing a scandal. You are managing a countdown. Meanwhile, Starmer appeared in the Sunday Times this weekend insisting he is staying, dismissing talk of a leadership challenge as just that, talk. He acknowledged Mandelson was a mistake. He expressed frustration that the scandal is overshadowing his government's work, and he said he would lead Labour into the next election. Bold words. Defiant posture. The problem is that the defiance of a politician under siege and the authority of a prime minister in control can look remarkably similar from the outside, right up until the moment they don't. The man who promised integrity. The man who told us the grown-ups were back in charge. The man who said full due process had been followed 3 times. The local elections are in 10 days. The parliamentary inquiry vote is this week. And the question Westminster is now openly asking is not whether Labour will take a hit on May the 7th, but whether Keir Starmer will still be standing when the votes are counted. Stay with us at British Reform. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and keep watching, because this story is moving fast and we are covering every single twist.